I am a huge fan of co-parenting, but I will tell you there are situations in which it just doesn't work. And by that, I mean, I can give you a few examples. One is where one of the parents sees co-parenting as meaning that they have to agree on every single aspect of their child's life. So in other words, if one parent thinks that they can make a rule bedtime is 9 o'clock and the other parent has to enforce that rule in their own home, you don't get to do that. You get to make rules for your own household. Co-parenting doesn't mean that you get to control your child's life when they are in the household of the other parent. So the other phrase that we hear a lot is parallel parenting. And what parallel parenting means is that when the children are with dad in dad's household, dad makes rules and the children follow those rules. And when they are with mom in mom's household, mom makes rules and the children follow those rules. So what's better, co-parenting or parallel parenting? I think it's all about boundaries and healthy boundaries and recognizing when you are having a discussion and when you're having an argument. You divorced the other parent. Chances are you're not going to agree on everything. And if the other parent wants to let the children eat non-organic foods, probably nothing that you can do about it. And so don't fuss about it. Don't tell the child that the other parent is wrong. That's a situation where you're going to have parallel parenting. In your home, they can abide by your rules, and you just need to accept with good grace that when they're out of your home, then they're going to be following the other parent's rules. Now, there are hundreds of areas that I see people disagree with, and a lot of them, at the end of the day, when the child's an adult, is it going to matter if bedtime was 8:30 or 9? It's probably not. Is it going to matter if homework is done before dinner or after dinner? Probably not. It would be nice if the parents could agree, and I would encourage them to see if agreement is possible. But if it's not, don't sweat it. You maintain consistent rules in your household and don't harass your child about what they do in the other household. Don't try to make them abide by rules that the other parent isn't following. I would say that that is successful parallel parenting. And I think that there's a good place in the all divorces, really, for both. There's a time when you need to recognize the autonomy of the other parent and just bow out. And there's a time when you want to reach out and say, hey, this is what our child is wanting to do. How do you feel about it? Times that it's better to work together. Recognize the role that each type of parenting has in your household. If you're wondering at what point parallel parenting becomes dangerous to the child, you need to ask yourself, what is being enforced differently at the two homes? If you have one moral code in one home and a completely opposite moral code in another home, that's a very difficult thing for a child to reconcile. If you're talking about different foods to eat, if you're talking about different bedtimes, if you're talking about different future career paths for the child, well, those are all the types of things that very good parents come to different decisions about every day. And you need to ask yourself, is this something that the difference is just a matter of choice, or is this a difference in the moral bearing that the child is forming? And if it's a difference that the child cannot reconcile the two, maybe it's time to speak with an attorney. So if you're trying to decide whether it's better to do parallel parenting or whether it's better to do co-parenting, I think the answer has got to be both. You want to reach out to the other parent about important things. You want to work together with the other parent. You want to make sure that you don't talk negatively about the other parent and create additional stress in your children's lives. But You want to have some privacy in your home. You want to respect the privacy in the other parent's home. And you need to recognize that you're going to make different decisions. You're going to make different decisions about how much time your child should spend in front of a computer screen. You're going to make different decisions about what activities are appropriate, how important grades are. All of these are opportunities for your child to have the benefit of multiple points of view. You're going to have differences, and you need to respect the other parent's love for the child enough to recognize they're not trying to harm the child. You need to co-parent where it's possible to co-parent together while leaving room to have a separate household and separate lifestyles. I'm Ruby Bolton, the founding attorney of the Bolton Law Firm. If you have found this video helpful, please click below. We have more information that we'd love to share.